Are you ready to be great? Stop letting self-doubt, insecurity, and fear prevent you from building your business. This morning, wake up to success. Here's John Preston.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Wake Up to Success today. Today, we're going to take a little bit of a different position. We normally talk about mindset and getting your head right and believing in yourself and doing all those things that are required mentally to take yourself to the next level to achieve your dreams. Today, we're going to take that one step closer to the day-to-day and focus on sales. Over the next several episodes, we're going to talk about things you need to know to be good at selling. Because regardless of what your dream is, regardless of what type of business you're trying to grow, there is always going to be an element of sales. Often it's the fear of sales and the lack of confidence in our ability to sell that leads us into dark places that derail our dreams. So we're going to spend the next few episodes talking about sales and things that will make you more comfortable selling, more confident selling, and allow you to do that stage. Because if you're more confident in it, it's more easy to get your mind ready to do it. Whether you're a service business that has to convince people and sell people on the idea that you're better than your competitors, whether you have a new idea that you're trying to pitch to investors, or whether you have a product that you're trying to get someone to pay you cash for, it always comes back to selling. Now, here's where we run into problems. Most of us hate the term salesperson. Most of us, when we hear that term, we think of the old movies with the guy in the plaid jacket at the used car lot trying to sell a junker to somebody that needs a good car. And we think of that person as being the person we never want to be. And so what do? We err so far the other direction that we actually do our customers a disservice because now we're not in a position to help them move along. There's a few things you want to know before you start working with clients and trying to sell them. First thing you want to know is that everyone hates making a decision. Everyone hates it. They could absolutely love your product, think you're the greatest service person in the world, absolutely believe your idea is brilliant. But when it comes down to it, they hate making a decision. And you just have to understand that. When oftentimes them delaying making a decision has nothing to do with what they think about your product. And if you really just need to understand this, think about your own self. Think about how many times you've been absolutely certain of what decision to make. You've been absolutely sure which product to buy, and you've just hesitated because you hate making that decision. So what happens in that situation is really often twofold. The first thing they do is the customer will tell you something that is designed to kick the can down the road, to buy time. Because what happens is the customer thinks that at some point, something's going to make it very clear that he has to do this. There's no question whatsoever, and it'll be a miracle. Maybe he'll win the lottery, fall into a lot of money, and suddenly no longer have an issue with it. Whatever he's thinking or she's thinking, it involves waiting as long as possible to make a decision. If I were to tell somebody, I'll give you $1,000 if you shave your head, but I need to know by Christmas, they're going to decide Christmas morning. If I say I need to know next week on Sunday, they're going to decide Sunday morning. But if I say I need an answer right now, they're going to decide right now. We will make a decision when we feel like we have to make a decision. So we'll get into some creating urgency and other podcasts. But first thing you need to do is a lot of things, what they say is all about just delaying the decision. And your goal is always to get them to make a decision while the information is still fresh on their mind. Every minute that passes, they forget a little bit about your product. They forget why you're better than your competitors. But when they kick the can down the road, that often happens. The second thing you need to understand is often customers are just afraid of seeming too eager. They will want to be resistant. Now, think about this for a second. If I were to make a presentation to somebody over a product and the customer just got all excited, said, yes, yes, I want to buy, I want to buy, I want to buy. Sign me up, sign me up, sign me up. That customer would be vulnerable. They would feel like they were in a position to be taken advantage of. So most of the time, a distinguishing customer will put up resistance just because they don't want to seem like they were too easy. Because if they seem like they're too easy, that means that maybe you'll take advantage of them. So they may offer some token objections. They may be real objections, but they also could be chances to have a better discussion. That client may need to know that you understand your product more than just a prepared presentation. They need to know that they're doing business with someone that knows their product, that knows their service, or who is very capable. So a lot of times that whole process of sales is their way of vetting you to see if you really know what you're talking about and this product is as good as you say it is. And B, just convincing themselves that they put in their legwork and they can buy now because they did ask the questions and they did dig a little deeper. Some people just need that peace of mind. So today, that's first lesson is always recognize your customer has reasons for not saying yes other than because they want to say no. Often, more times than not, they either need more time because they just want to wait as long as they can, or they really just need you to convince them. Some people need to be sold before they'll feel good about a purchase. And if you keep that in mind, it becomes much easier not to take those early rejections in the sales process personally. Because when you take them personally, that's when it starts to feed into your negative self-image. And the next thing you know, you're convinced you're not good at this. And that's simply not the case in most cases.